There is something quietly clarifying about preparing before you need to. Not out of fear, not from panic, simply from the steady recognition that the world occasionally disrupts itself, and the people who navigate those disruptions with the most dignity are almost always the ones who thought ahead. This is not a video about worst-case thinking. It is a video about practical readiness, about knowing with calm certainty that your household has what it needs if circumstances change suddenly and dramatically. Throughout recorded military history and across dozens of documented civilian survival accounts, one pattern surfaces consistently. When a city experiences active conflict, when supply chains break down, when utilities fail for extended periods, the households that sustain themselves most effectively share one characteristic. They stored food that required absolutely nothing to become edible: no flame, no electricity, no running water, no equipment of any kind. The reason this matters extends beyond simple convenience. In a genuine disruption scenario, cooking creates visibility, heat sources draw attention, smoke rises and spreads. The smell of warm food travels surprising distances, particularly at night when air is still and cold. For civilians navigating genuinely dangerous environments, the ability to eat without announcing your presence is not a minor advantage, it is a meaningful one. Every food on this list shares three qualities. It can be eaten cold and directly, it requires no preparation beyond opening a container, and it delivers genuine nutritional value, not just empty calories, but the kind of sustained energy that keeps a person thinking clearly and moving effectively under stress. There are more items on this list than most survival guides include, because comprehensive preparation matters more than brevity. Each item earns its place through specific nutritional function, realistic shelf life, and genuine ease of use in difficult circumstances. Item 1. Peanut butter. Begin with the foundation. Peanut butter is the single most calorie-dense no-cook food available at a price that any household can reasonably stock in meaningful quantities. A standard jar contains approximately 3,000 calories. It delivers complete fat and protein in every serving. A single tablespoon provides close to 200 calories immediately, with no preparation, no heating, and no equipment beyond a spoon or a finger. For a household managing an extended disruption, where food access is uncertain and physical demands are elevated, peanut butter offers something genuinely rare: maximum caloric return with minimum resource investment. You do not need water to prepare it. You do not need fire to make it edible. You do not need utensils to consume it meaningfully. It works equally well spread onto a cracker, stirred into something cold, or eaten directly from the jar at any hour of the day or night. From a nutritional standpoint, the combination of fat and protein that peanut butter provides is specifically the combination that sustains physical and cognitive performance over extended periods. Fat is slow-burning fuel, protein maintains muscle function and supports tissue repair. Together they create a caloric profile that holds a person steady across hours of exertion, far better than carbohydrates alone. Commercial peanut butter in a sealed jar remains shelf-stable for 1 to 2 years without refrigeration. Peanut butter powder sealed properly in Mylar pouches extends that window to 4 or 5 years. Both forms are widely available and reasonably priced. Suggested stock, 15 jars, cost under $50. This becomes the caloric base on which everything else builds. Eat it straight. Eat it with crackers, mix it with honey, pair it with dried fruit. It is endlessly versatile and demands nothing from you. Item 2. Sardines. The second item is perhaps less universally loved, but arguably more nutritionally complete than anything else on this list. Sardines, eaten cold directly from the can, require nothing. No heat, no preparation, no water. Open the pull tab and eat. The liquid in the can is nutritious and need not be discarded. What sardines deliver nutritionally is genuinely remarkable for a single small can. Complete protein, meaning all essential amino acids are present in useful quantities. Omega-3 fatty acids, which serve a specific and important function under stress conditions. Calcium from the small soft bones, which are entirely edible and digestible. Vitamin D, which supports immune function and mood regulation. Vitamin B12, which is essential for neurological health. Iron, which maintains energy and oxygen transport in the blood. The omega-3 component deserves specific attention in the context of crisis preparedness. Sustained stress, physical danger, sleep disruption, and elevated anxiety all degrade cognitive function over time. Clear thinking, sound decision-making, and calm assessment of circumstances are not luxuries in a disruption scenario. They are survival tools. Omega-3 fatty acids directly support the neurological processes that keep those capacities functional. Sardines deliver them cold, silently, and without any preparation. Shelf life runs 3 to 5 years for commercially canned sardines under normal storage conditions. They are available in multiple varieties, including in olive oil, water, tomato sauce, or with added flavoring, which adds variety to what might otherwise become a monotonous eating routine. Suggested stock, 40 to 50 cans. Cost roughly $40 to $60. The cold protein that keeps your thinking clear. Item 3. Honey. Honey occupies a unique position on this list because it is the only food here that, when stored correctly in a sealed container, does not expire. Archaeologists have recovered honey from ancient Egyptian tombs, thousands of years old, that was still chemically intact. The properties that make this possible are the same properties that make honey genuinely useful in a survival context. First, it is immediate fuel. 1 tablespoon delivers approximately 60 calories in a form the body can begin processing within minutes. When energy is depleted and no time exists for a full meal, a spoonful of honey provides a fast, functional bridge, no preparation, no waiting, open and consume. Second, honey has documented antimicrobial properties that make it a functional medical supply when conventional medical resources are unavailable. Applied directly to wounds, abrasions, or burns, it creates an environment hostile to bacterial growth through its natural hydrogen peroxide content and low moisture properties. Field medics in various military contexts carry or recommend honey, specifically because it works in the absence of pharmaceutical alternatives. This is not folklore, it is documented and studied. Third, and perhaps most importantly in an extended disruption, honey provides something that nutrition alone cannot: psychological comfort. A small spoonful of something genuinely pleasant, something sweet and real, does measurable good for human morale during difficult circumstances. It signals continuity. It suggests that good things still exist and are still accessible. That signal matters more than its caloric contribution in certain moments. Suggested stock, 5 to 8 pounds. Cost $35 to $55. Infinite shelf life. 3 distinct functions no other item here provides. Item 4. Hardtack and hard crackers. This is where carbohydrates enter the list, and they enter in their most shelf-stable possible form. Hardtack is among the oldest intentionally designed military foods in recorded history. Its formula is strikingly simple: flour, water, and salt, mixed and baked until completely dry. The absence of fat, sugar, or any perishable ingredient means there is essentially nothing present that can spoil. Historically documented hardtack from 19th century military conflicts has been reportedly edible well into the 20th century. Commercially produced hardtack and hard crackers, sealed in airtight tins or vacuum-sealed packaging, are reliably shelf-stable for 5 to 25 years, depending on production standards and storage conditions. In a no-cook scenario, crackers and hardtack serve as your bread. They provide carbohydrates, which are the body's preferred quick energy fuel. They are dry and produce no smell. They make every other item on this list more practical and more pleasant to eat. Peanut butter on a cracker, sardines on a cracker, cheese on a cracker, honey on a cracker. They are the platform that turns individual ingredients into something resembling a complete meal. An important note: food that produces no cooking smell is food that does not announce your location. Hardtack eaten cold in a darkened room produces no steam, no smoke, no aroma that travels beyond the immediate vicinity. In a disruption scenario where visibility matters, that quality has genuine value. Suggested stock, 10 to 15 packs or sealed tins. Cost under $30. The silent carbohydrate that has sustained soldiers across centuries. If this content is useful to you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. A comment telling us how many of these items are already in your home tonight helps more people find this information. It genuinely makes a difference. Item 5. Wax-sealed hard cheese. This is the item most civilian preparedness plans overlook entirely, and it is arguably the most impressive from a purely logistical standpoint. Wax-sealed hard cheeses, specifically aged varieties such as Parmesan, aged cheddar, and aged Gouda, when properly coated in a continuous wax seal, remain shelf-stable without refrigeration for 25 years or more under appropriate storage conditions. Not 2 years, not 5, 25 or more. This is why military long-term stockpiles and serious emergency preparedness programs include wax-sealed hard cheese specifically. The wax coating creates a fully sealed anaerobic environment. Oxygen cannot penetrate, moisture cannot enter. The conditions for spoilage simply do not exist within the seal. To eat it, you cut a portion from the wheel with any small blade and consume it cold. Nothing else is required. Nutritionally, aged hard cheese delivers complete protein, dense healthy fat, calcium in significant quantities, and a range of B vitamins. It maintains physical performance and supports cognitive stability across periods of extended stress. It digests slowly and keeps a person feeling genuinely satisfied, not merely not hungry, for hours. And there is a quality to eating real aged cheese, something with flavor and texture and substance that no processed emergency ration replicates. Morale is a real factor in extended survival scenarios. Food that tastes like something worth eating contributes meaningfully to the psychological resilience that keeps people functional over time. 2 to 3 small wax-sealed wheels cost $40 to $70 depending on variety. Shelf life longer than most conflicts in modern history. Item 6. Mixed nuts and dried fruit. The most portable item on this list, the most immediate, the most forgiving of difficult circumstances. Mixed nuts, almonds, cashews, walnuts, pecans, and similar varieties, combined with dried fruit such as raisins, apricots, dates, or cranberries, require no container beyond their original packaging, no utensils, no preparation of any kind. A handful from a bag or a pocket is a meaningful caloric contribution, delivered silently, instantly, and with nothing required. The nutritional profile of this combination is well suited to physically demanding circumstances. Nuts provide dense, healthy fat for sustained, slow-burning energy, complete protein for muscle maintenance, vitamin E, which is an antioxidant that supports immune function, and magnesium and zinc, which support enzymatic processes throughout the body. The fat component specifically helps the body regulate temperature during cold periods and maintains brain function under physical stress. Dried fruit alongside the nuts adds fast-release glucose for immediate energy, natural fiber for digestive health, and potassium, which is important for sustained muscle function during constant movement. The combination, fat from nuts and sugar from dried fruit, produces something close to an ideal cold emergency fuel. The sustained energy from fat prevents the crashes associated with simple sugar consumption, while the quick glucose from fruit provides an immediate boost when one is needed. Sealed in mylar pouches, mixed nuts store for 1 to 2 years. Dried fruit in similar conditions lasts 1 to 4 years depending on variety and initial moisture content. In circumstances where stopping to prepare food is impractical or inadvisable, a bag of mixed nuts and dried fruit in a coat pocket is survival fuel that requires exactly zero thought to access. Suggested stock, 5 to 8 pounds combined, cost $30 to $50. Pocket fuel. Silent, instant, and always accessible. Item 7. Emergency calorie bars. These are products designed specifically for the scenario this video addresses, and they exist because a need was identified and a solution was engineered. Emergency calorie bars, specifically those manufactured for Coast Guard, military, and disaster relief applications, are formulated to provide 3,600 calories per unit, typically divided into 9 individual portions. Each portion can be broken off and eaten in under a minute. No water, no heat, no tools, no preparation of any kind. They are engineered to remain functional across a wide range of temperatures. They do not crumble in heat. They do not freeze solid in cold. They maintain their structural integrity under conditions that would compromise most food products. Their shelf life is certified to 5 years minimum, and quality testing by multiple manufacturers has confirmed nutritional viability well beyond that under appropriate storage. The specific role emergency bars fill on this list is as the absolute backup. Every other item here requires at least one small action to access: opening a jar, lifting a pull tab, cutting from a wheel. Emergency bars require nothing. When hands are occupied, when movement is constant, when stopping for even 2 minutes is inadvisable, breaking a portion from a bar and eating it in 30 seconds is sometimes the only functional option available. They are not a complete diet. They are not intended to replace the other items on this list. They exist for the moments when everything else temporarily becomes inaccessible, and their only job in those moments is to keep you going until access is restored. Suggested stock, 10 to 15 bars, cost $40 to $60. The last resort that requires nothing and works regardless of circumstances. Item 8. Rolled oats and oat-based cereal. Oats deserve a place on this list that most preparedness guides do not give them. Standard rolled oats are almost universally discussed as a cooked food, but they do not require cooking to be safe or edible. Oats are a fully processed grain. They have been cleaned, hulled, steamed, and rolled before packaging. Cold soaking them in any available liquid, including cold water, juice, or even eating them dry, makes them perfectly edible. From a nutritional standpoint, oats provide complex carbohydrates for sustained energy release, soluble fiber which supports digestive health and helps maintain stable blood sugar, and a meaningful protein content higher than most grains. They also provide iron, magnesium, and zinc. The caloric density of dry oats is significant. A single cup of dry rolled oats contains roughly 300 calories and takes up very little storage space. Sealed in airtight containers, rolled oats store for 2 to 4 years. In mylar pouches with oxygen absorbers that extends to 10 years or more. For a household with children, oats mixed cold with honey and dried fruit become a recognizable and comforting food in circumstances where familiarity itself provides psychological benefit. Children eat what they recognize. Familiar food reduces stress in young people during disruptions in ways that are genuinely important for the whole household's functioning. Suggested stock, 10 to 15 pounds, cost under $25. Simple, dense, versatile, and storable. Item 9, coconut oil in sealed jars. Coconut oil belongs on this list for a reason that may not be immediately obvious. It is a fat source, yes, and fat is essential to sustain survival, but coconut oil's specific properties set it apart from other fat sources in a preparedness context. Its saturated fat composition gives it one of the longest shelf lives of any edible oil. 2 years at room temperature in a sealed container with quality options lasting longer. It does not require refrigeration. It remains stable at a wide range of ambient temperatures. A tablespoon of coconut oil provides approximately 120 calories. It can be consumed directly, or it can be used to coat other foods to increase their caloric density. Hardtack with a small amount of coconut oil and honey becomes a genuinely complete small meal. Oats mixed with coconut oil and dried fruit become calorie-dense and satisfying. Beyond nutrition, coconut oil has well-documented topical applications. It functions as a skin moisturizer in dry or harsh environmental conditions, which matters more during extended outdoor disruptions than it might seem. Cracked skin is a genuine health risk in cold or dry environments. It can also serve as a mild lubricant for mechanical items, including tools and zippers, in a pinch. Suggested stock, 4 to 6 sealed jars, cost $25 to $40, a quiet workhorse that delivers more functions than its simple appearance suggests. You are still here, which means this information is landing. If you have found it useful, please take a second to like the video and leave a comment. Subscribing ensures the next installment, covering water storage and purification, reaches you directly. These small actions help this information reach the people who need it. Item 10, nut butter alternatives. Peanut butter earns the top position on this list for good reason, but diversity in your stored food supply has genuine value, and not every household can safely consume peanut butter. Almond butter, cashew butter, sunflower seed butter, and tahini, which is sesame paste, all function similarly to peanut butter in a no-cook preparedness context. Each is calorie-dense, protein-containing, fat-rich, and requires no preparation. Each is eaten cold directly from the jar. Each stores for 1 to 2 years sealed, without refrigeration. Sunflower seed butter is specifically worth noting for households with nut allergies. It provides a nearly identical caloric and nutritional profile to peanut butter and is safe for those with tree nut and peanut sensitivities. For households with children, having a nut-free option that functions identically is meaningful. Tahini, made from ground sesame seeds, provides complete protein, significant calcium content, and a dense fat profile. It is less sweet than most nut butters and works particularly well paired with honey or dried fruit for palatability. The broader principle here is variety. A preparedness pantry that includes 3 or 4 different nut and seed butters covers more nutritional ground and is more resilient to individual taste preferences and dietary restrictions over an extended period. Suggested stock, 4 to 6 jars across 2 or 3 varieties. Cost $35 to $55. Nutritional diversity without complexity. Item 11, dark chocolate. This may feel unexpected on a preparedness list, and it is worth explaining its specific role. Dark chocolate, specifically varieties above 70% cacao content, is not here primarily as a treat. It earns its place through a specific set of practical functions. Caloric density. Dark chocolate provides 150 to 170 calories per ounce. It is among the more calorie-dense, shelf-stable foods available. A small amount delivers meaningful energy quickly. Shelf life. Properly stored dark chocolate in sealed packaging lasts 2 to 5 years without refrigeration. It does not require cold to remain stable. Medicinal value. Cacao contains flavonoids that support cardiovascular function and reduce inflammatory response. These are not trivial benefits during a period of sustained physical and psychological stress on the body. Psychological function. This is where dark chocolate genuinely earns its place. In a prolonged disruption, the psychological dimension of survival is as important as the physical one. Food that provides genuine pleasure, that tastes like something chosen rather than merely consumed, maintains morale in ways that are hard to quantify but easy to observe. A small square of dark chocolate eaten deliberately in a difficult moment is a real act of self-care that costs almost nothing and delivers disproportionate benefit. Suggested stock, 10 to 15 bars of high cacao dark chocolate, cost $20 to $30, small in volume. High in both caloric and psychological return. Item 12, instant powdered milk. Powdered milk belongs on this list, particularly for households with children or elderly members, because it provides nutritional access to dairy protein and calcium without any refrigeration or heat requirement. Standard instant powdered milk can be mixed with cold water and drunk immediately. It can also be eaten dry in small amounts mixed into other foods. In a no-cook scenario, mixing powdered milk with rolled oats, honey, and dried fruit creates something genuinely substantial. Nutritionally, powdered milk is a complete protein source. It provides calcium in significant quantities, B vitamins including B12, and vitamin D in fortified varieties. For children whose nutritional needs differ from adults, maintaining some access to dairy protein and calcium is meaningfully important during extended disruptions. Shelf life for commercially sealed powdered milk in sealed tins or mylar pouches is 2 to 25 years, depending on processing method and storage conditions. Standard instant non-fat dry milk stores reliably for 2 to 4 years. Specially processed survival-grade powdered milk from preparedness suppliers stores for up to 25 years. Suggested stock, 10 to 15 pounds in sealed containers, cost $25 to $45. The dairy nutrition your household needs without any requirement for refrigeration. Item 13, multivitamins and electrolyte supplements. Technically not a food, but this entry belongs on the list because of what extended disruption does to nutritional completeness. Even with the items described above, maintaining a fully complete micronutrient profile across weeks of disrupted eating is genuinely difficult. Vitamins and minerals that are easily covered in a normal varied diet become harder to access when food variety is limited. Deficiencies develop slowly and quietly, manifesting first as reduced cognitive clarity, then fatigue, then impaired immune function. A daily multivitamin taken cold with any available water costs almost nothing and provides meaningful insurance against micronutrient gaps. Standard multivitamins sealed in their original containers store reliably for 2 to 3 years. Many retain functional potency beyond their labeled expiration. Electrolyte supplements, whether in tablet, powder, or packet form, address a separate and equally important concern. Dehydration under stress conditions depletes sodium, potassium, and magnesium faster than water intake alone can replace. Electrolyte supplementation without heat or equipment of any kind maintains the fluid balance that keeps muscles functional and thinking clear. Suggested stock, 6-month supply of multivitamins, 30 to 60 electrolyte servings, cost $15 to $30 combined, the cheapest insurance on this entire list. Item 14, shelf-stable nut and seed mixes with chocolate. This is a deliberate expansion of Item 6 into a more developed form. Purpose-designed trail mix blends, specifically those combining nuts, seeds, dried fruit, and dark chocolate pieces in sealed vacuum packaging, represent one of the most complete no-cook emergency food options available. The combination provides fast and slow-release energy simultaneously. The fat from nuts and seeds creates sustained fuel. The sugar from fruit and chocolate creates immediate glucose. The protein from nuts maintains muscle function. And the small amount of chocolate in the mix provides the morale dimension discussed above, woven into the food rather than existing separately. Commercially produced sealed trail mix in mylar pouches stores for 1 to 2 years. Purpose-mixed and vacuum-sealed custom mixes can extend to 3 or 4 years. For households that find plain nuts and dried fruit unappealing, the combination format significantly improves actual consumption during stress, which matters. Food that sits untouched because no one will eat it cold is not useful food. Suggested stock, 8 to 12 pounds across several varieties, cost $40 to $60, the most complete grab-and-eat option available. 3/4 through and still reading. That dedication is exactly the kind of mindset that makes preparedness real rather than theoretical. If this video is providing genuine value, a like and a subscription cost nothing and help this information reach more households. Leave a comment with the one item on this list you are adding to your pantry first. Item 15, canned legumes. Beans, lentils, and chickpeas in canned form occupy a specific and important role in no-cook preparedness. A common misconception is that canned beans require heating to be edible. They do not. Commercially canned legumes are fully cooked during the canning process. The contents are safe, edible, and nutritionally complete straight from the can, cold, with nothing added. The nutritional contribution of legumes is specifically valuable in a no-cook scenario because it is the contribution that is otherwise hardest to obtain. Plant-based protein, complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, and soluble fiber for digestive health. In a household where meat and dairy consumption is reduced due to limited storage options, canned legumes maintain protein intake and digestive regularity in ways that matter for sustained function. Chickpeas specifically are mild in flavor and versatile. They can be eaten as they are or mashed and spread on crackers in a manner similar to hummus. Combined with olive oil, which is shelf-stable for 1 to 2 years sealed, they become genuinely satisfying. Shelf life for commercially canned legumes is 3 to 5 years under normal storage. They are among the least expensive protein sources available in any form. Suggested stock, 30 to 40 cans across several varieties, cost $20 to $35. Plant protein that requires nothing to become edible. Item 16. Olive oil in sealed bottles. A companion to several other items on this list, olive oil adds calories, palatability, and nutritional value to almost everything here without requiring any preparation. A tablespoon of olive oil provides approximately 120 calories entirely from healthy monounsaturated fat. It extends the satiety of any food it accompanies. Drizzled onto canned chickpeas with a pinch of salt, it creates a genuinely pleasant meal. Combined with sardines, it softens both flavor and texture. Paired with hardtack crackers, it adds caloric density and makes the crackers significantly more edible. Extra virgin olive oil in a sealed, unopened bottle stores for 2 to 3 years at room temperature in a cool, dark environment. Once opened, it degrades faster, which suggests that smaller bottles rather than large ones are more practical for storage purposes. Olive oil's monounsaturated fat profile is among the most studied and well-regarded in nutritional science for supporting cardiovascular health, reducing systemic inflammation, and maintaining cognitive function under sustained stress. For a household under physical and psychological strain, the dietary fat source matters, and olive oil is one of the best available. Suggested stock, 6 to 8 small sealed bottles, cost $30 to $45, a quiet caloric multiplier that improves everything it touches. The complete picture. Taken together, the items described in this video represent something more than a collection of individual foods. They represent a complete no-cook nutritional system.